Hi everybody, welcome back to Storytime with Grandma Kate. Today we're going to start a brand new Junie B. Jones book. And this one is hilarious, hilarious, as my friends would say, hilarious. It's called Boss of Lunch, because Junie B. likes to be the boss of a lot of stuff, her and that girl May that's in her class. So I wonder how she's going to handle being the boss of lunch. I'm imagining this is going to be the boss of lunch at school because I see her wearing a hairnet, although I would hope she would wear it all over her whole head if she was going to wear it to serve food. But anyway, let's find out what happens in this fun book. We're going to start off with chapter 1. And it says, not normal. I know a lot of things that are not normal. And just like Junie B's other first grade books, when she's a first grader, it starts off with a journal entry. And this says Thursday. Dear first grade journal. Hooray, hooray, it came. It finally came. Yesterday, the delivery man brought it right to my house. And today I carried it to school for the very first time. Right now, it is sitting under my desk. And I keep sneaking down there to see it closer. But my teacher just said to please stop doing that. Only guess what? He is not even watching me right now. So I think I will sneak down there one more time. And that will be it, possibly. I wish myself good luck. From Junie B, first grader. There's a picture of Junie B, first grader. What do you think she's got? I was thinking at first it was her backpack, but I don't think it's the backpack. Let's find out. I put down my pencil and looked all around. Room 1 was still writing in their journals. I smiled very sneaky. Then I bent over in my chair real slow, and I reached way down, and I lifted up the lid of my brand new shiny lunchbox, hollered out May. Junie Jones just opened her lunchbox again, Mr. Scary, and you told her not to do that anymore, remember? May is that tattletale girl who sits next to me. I do not actually care for her. My heart pounded very hard. I bent over even more, and I hid my head so my teacher couldn't see me. Only I didn't do a good job of hiding, I guess, because just then I heard Mr. Scary's shoes walking toward me. Junie B, why is your lunchbox open again? Asked Mr. Scary. Didn't I just speak to you about this a few minutes ago? I kept my head down and looked at the floor. One of Mr. Scary's shoes started tapping at me. Tappy shoes are not happy shoes, I think. Junie B, said Mr. Scary again, do you have a good reason for opening your lunchbox again? I closed my eyes and tried to think of a good reason. Mr. Scary's shoe tapped louder. I opened my eyes and I peeked at it. And then, bingo, all of a sudden a miracle happened. Out of my eyes, one of my eyes saw my napkin in the corner of my lunchbox, and a bright idea popped right into my head. I quick grabbed the napkin and I started shining Mr. Scary's shoes. And here she is. She's trying to get out of trouble, but I think Mr. Scary's smarter than she thinks. I used to say to my kids when they would do stuff like that when I was a teacher, I would say to them, I'm not as think as you dumb I am. And they'd go, do you know what that means? I'm not as dumb as you think I am. Look, Mr. Scary, look. Here's my good reason, I said. See me? I'm shining your shoes with my napkin, see? I shined and I shined. This is the smartest reason I ever came up with, I said real proud. I smiled up at him. Would you like some spit on the napkin? I asked real nice. A little spit makes shoes look extra gleamy. Mr. Scary quick pulled his shoe away. No, Junie B, no spit. Please, just sit up, he said. I sat up. Mr. Scary stared and stared at me. I wiggled in my seat, very uncomfortable, because staring teachers make me squirmy, of course. Finally, Mr. Scary talked again. I want you to stay out of your lunchbox, Junie B, he said. We have a rule in room 1. Lunchboxes are to be opened only in the cafeteria. I did a sad sigh. Yes, I know that rule, Mr. Scary, but I waited a real long time to get this lunchbox, and yesterday it finally came to my house, and so today is my first day of not carrying a plain brown sack to school. And so every time I look at that new lunchbox, I feel happy inside. I picked it up to show him. See how cute it is, I said. My mother ordered it from a nature store. It has pictures of baby birds on it. See all of them? I pointed. This one is my favorite, I said. It is called an owlet. Owlet is the name for a baby owl. My grandpa Frank Miller told me that. There she is showing him the picture of the owlet. I just read a storybook called The Kissing Hand earlier today, and it had an owl in it too. I think owls are fascinating. I pointed at a different bird. That one is an eaglet, I said. An eaglet is a baby eagle. And I just realized I made a mistake. She's pointing to the eaglet in that picture. That's the owlet. I think I kind of look like a grown-up Junie B. Jones. What do you think? After that, I held my lunchbox way high in the air so all of room 1 could see it. See all the birdlets, children? There are owlets and eaglets and ducklets and chicklets, I explained. I put my lunchbox on my desk and I took out the thermos. And see this thermos, people? This thermos has pictures of birds' nests on it. Isn't that cute? May made a face. Ick, she said. Who wants to drink out of a stinky pooey bird's nest? I made a face at her. I do, that's who, May, I said. I love drinking out of stinky pooey birds' nests. May reached into her desk and pulled out a lunch ticket. Well, I buy lunch, Junie Jones, she said. Bought lunches are much better than brought lunches. Bought lunches don't sit around all morning and get soggy. I crossed my arms at that girl. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard of, May, I said right back. Brought lunches are way better than bought lunches because bought lunches are made special by our very own mothers. Mr. Scary did a frown. Okay, girls, that's enough, he said. But May kept on arguing with me. For your information, Junie Jones, mothers are not professional lunch makers, she said. Mothers are just plain old normal people. I stamped my foot at her because that was my final straw. Do not call my mother normal, May, I hollered. No one in my whole entire family is normal, so there. May started to laugh. Then some of the other children laughed too. I do not know why. Finally, Mr. Scary snapped his fingers at them. I put my lunchbox back on the floor. It was not my best morning. Do you know why the class laughed when Junie B said no one in her family is normal? Last night I was taking Papa's temperature and it was normal. I said, well, Papa, you're normal. He goes, well, maybe my temperature is. That made me laugh because Papa's so funny. But I used to have a sign in my classroom that said normal is boring because I don't really know what normal is. But the kids at school were laughing at Junie B. Jones because in their minds, she was saying that her family is a little cuckoo, which we all are, I think. But anyway. Okay, then our next story time, I'm going to be reading chapter 2 called Hoagies. Have you ever had a hoagie? It's a kind of sandwich that we're going to learn all about tomorrow or in our next story time. So until I see you again, have a great day. Bye-bye.